Hey everyone, it's Karen with Yes Please PaperCrafts, and in this video I'm going to be creating a scrapbook layout for the scrapart-blogspot.com sketch challenge for the month of October. And so for this month's challenge, you need to create a layout inspired by this sketch, and your layout must also include fall or Halloween pattern paper and also mixed alphas. And so I just recently did a couple layouts with fall papers, and so I thought I would switch it up a little bit and do something for Halloween. Now I don't have many pictures from Halloween. I don't have any children, so I have never really done a lot of trick-or-treating. And I do have, though, a couple of pictures of my dogs in their Halloween costumes, and so I thought it would be fun to scrapbook those pictures. So I have a couple of pictures here of Bella and Lilybell. And for this Halloween, Lilybell was a ladybug and Bella was a bee. And so that was just so appropriate that Bella was a bee. She's such a little buzzy bee. And so I have quite a few pictures here, just different expressions on their faces and different size pictures. I have a close-up here of Bella. And I thought that was just such an adorable picture of her. It was kind of hard to get them in the picture and then also to kind of show off their costumes. I could not get them to wear the headpiece that was included. I tried to put that on them, but they would just shake their head and it would fly right off. So they wouldn't wear the headpiece, and it was super cute. It had little antennas. But I thought these pictures were adorable, and so I'm going to create a layout and use a few of these pictures. Now the paper that I decided to use was this paper pad that I picked up, and it's from DCWV. It's called Pets and Pumpkins, and I got this at Joann's.com when they had a sale not too long ago with 60% off of all their paper. And when I saw this, I just thought it was so adorable. It's got cats and dogs and all different. It's a Halloween themed pad, obviously. And I thought it would be really fun to use, and it's got purples and oranges and lime greens. So I went into my thickers and I found a couple of packs of thickers that I could possibly pull in for my title. I have this one here that's a really bright lime green. Then I have this really pretty glitter purple thicker. I have actually 2 packs of that one. And I also have this thicker set here, which is it's a Halloween one, so it has words on there that I could possibly use and incorporate into my title. Now I'm going to probably pull in more than one of these because I have to mix up my alphas and use multiple different alphas for my layout. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and I love these colors. I think that's super cute. Okay, so let's go back and look at the papers. I want to go ahead and pick up my papers, and I'd like to talk to you guys while I'm doing that. It really helps me to try to figure out kind of the direction that I'm going to go for my layout. So I'm going to need at least maybe 3 papers. I could use a washi tape for that strip here and maybe a border punch. And I need at least a couple more papers. So let's kind of look at this paper pad and see what's in here that we can use. Now, I know it's going to be a little bit of a challenge because this red in Lilybell's costume is not really in any of the papers, but we'll try to see if we can make that work. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what's in here. Now, they do have some cut-aparts. I think that this paper, I don't know whoever came up with this paper designs, but it's really, really cute. It doesn't really say a designer name on here. It's just from DCWV. But if you have dogs and cats and you take pictures of them with Halloween costumes, this is a cute paper pad to use to scrapbook pictures of that. Okay, so we have the cut aparts, and there's a couple of pages of that. And there's the back of that is a black and gray paper with bats on it. And then there's this one here with all of these dogs in their costumes. That's adorable. And then this really cute stripe. I love the colors in this paper pad. And there's this paper with the words. I'm not really sure what kind of background I'm going to use. I'm going to look for something that I could use as a background. And there's this paper here, which is kind of cool. I could possibly use this as a background. But I'm not exactly sure how that would work with this sketch, so probably not. I might have to use that for another layout. It's not really going to work with the sketch at all because I'd be covering up the 2 corners, and I don't think that would work too well. Okay, let's see what else they have. There's this holographic paper with the kitty cats. And then on this side, there's some puppy paws. That's really cute. Okay, there's this holographic paper. It's like dots on a purple background. And then on this side is a bunch of pumpkins. Okay, we have some candy. And that does have a little bit more of a color that's closer to Lily Bell's costume. So that might be a possibility to use this paper. Okay, and then we have some purple, a purple background with candy corn. And then there's this paper that's holographic that has little tiny stars all over it. That might be kind of cool to do like a matting my photos. That'd be really pretty. I might use that to mat my photos. And then on this side is a stripe. And this stripe would work really well with Lily Bell's costume as well. So that might work too. Let's keep going and see what else they have. Okay, they have more of the paper with the different, this is like all different types of pets. It's got guinea pigs and cats and dogs and rabbits. That is super adorable. And on this side is a paper that has a black, I think it's black background with red paws. Okay, then we have this paper. This is probably not one that I would use. That's really a strange design. It's got 4 cat heads and then bats surrounding it, and it's black and gray. I don't think I care for that one too much, but the one on the other side is cute. It's got little pumpkins and different Halloween images. That's probably my least favorite paper out of this whole paper bag. Okay, then we have this one, which is all kitty cats. That's adorable. And on the back of that one is this orange paper with the spider webs. And then we have a purple paper with spider webs. There's a lot of spider web stuff in here. Okay, we have this paper with the words. And then here is some paper with bunny rabbits and turtles. Isn't that funny? Is that hedgehogs? I'm not sure what that is. Cute, cute, cute. And then on the back of that paper is an orange paper with bats. Okay, here is a paper with holographic spider webs, and there's also little spiders on there. And then on the back of that is this paper with the bones. Okay, here's a paper, it's like an orange polka dot. And then on the back of that one is some more dogs in their Halloween costumes, as well as some candy and pumpkins and spider webs. Lots of spider webs in this paper. Oh, that's funny. Here's a whole bunch of pets with their ghost costumes. That's cute. Oh, and there's that strange paper again. This one has dogs where you can see the bones. It has bats, and I don't care for that, but I do like the one with the ghost. Okay, here's another paper with bats, and it's holographic. That's really pretty. And then on the back of that one is a whole bunch of different dog and bunny and cat heads. Okay, this is super funny. It's a whole bunch of skeletons. And then on the back of that one is a black and gray polka dot. Now this paper is super cool. It's a holographic and black stripe. Wouldn't that be cool as a mat for my pictures? I think that would be really cute. I'm definitely going to use this paper to mat my pictures. I just think that that's really pretty. And then on the back of this paper is a whole bunch of these, what you call those? Speech bubbles. And that's the end of it. Okay, so going back to the paper that had the reds in it, which was this paper, do these two papers go together? Yeah, they go together. Okay. So I could use this paper here, and then this stripe. I need a paper for my background. I don't know if I want to use white, but I did see an orange paper that might work. Let's see. There was also this stripe, but then this is a stripe. And this really doesn't remind me of Halloween at all. Although I like the colors, it goes really well with Lily Bell's costume. I don't really think that would work too well. Okay. I think that this paper is really cute. And it's got some red in it. So I wonder if something with this paper would work. But the strange thing about this paper is I would have to cut it at a diagonal. And I don't know, might be cutting off parts of the little animals. I don't know if I would want to do that. I know they're not real animals, but still kind of would, I think it might bother me to cut those in half and have like headless animals. Okay, we have this really pretty orange. I think that would go really well with this stripe. So I like those two papers together. Yeah, let's see what else. This is a little bit more challenging than I thought it would be, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a little bit easier to pick the paper, and I'm kind of struggling a little bit because I think that these patterns are really cute. I just don't know how I would use them with the diagonal like that. And I don't typically use triangles like that on a layout. It's kind of a little bit of a challenge for me. And one of the things I really love about doing challenges is that sometimes, you know, you wouldn't necessarily do this. Like if I was just creating a layout on my own and I didn't have the sketch to use, I would probably not come up with this design. So I think it's a lot of fun to do challenges because it kind of stretches you and gets you to do things that are out of your comfort zone. And so I think I am going to, okay, so we can also look at maybe our alphas. If I use this paper here, which I think is super pretty, that would kind of compete with my gold letters here. And I don't think that really goes well together either, even though I love this holographic stripe. And I was really thinking that I should use one of these with this layout. But let's see what words are here. Maybe I wouldn't use it. So we have, I don't think I would use witches or frightful or creepy, crawly, Halloween maybe, or trick or treat. I was trying to think of what would the title be for this layout with my dogs and their costumes. You know, I thought it would be really funny to come up with a title because they're both bugs. And so they could be spooky bugs or something like that. And here's the word spooky. So I could do spooky bugs. That might be cute. If I did bugs, would I use, so I would have spooky in this color. And then bugs would be in this one. I could also just do spooky in the green and then bugs in this, and not use this one at all. But I don't know how much Halloween I actually have to scrapbook, so it would be nice to use up one of these words from this set of thickers. Ooh, too many choices. Okay, so I think I'm definitely going to use the word spooky, and that will eliminate this paper for me. And then that will make it a little bit easier to pick the rest of my papers because I won't be having to fight with this paper trying to find something that would go with it, because some of the other papers I was leaning towards had stripes in them. So let's go ahead and eliminate this paper from the choices, and I'll use that for another different layout. Okay, so if I decide I wanted to use the orange, I think the orange makes a really good background paper because even though it has a pattern, it's a very tone-on-tone pattern. It's not a very busy pattern, and it does kind of lend itself to being a background paper. So let's see what we could use to go with that. Now we have this one here, which has all these little candies. And so I could mix these two papers. It also has the purple and the green. And so if I did these two papers and then came up with maybe a stripe or a washi tape to go across there, that might work really well. Okay, so we're going to do that. I'm going to take this paper here, and I think this will kind of bring in more of the costumes. Now, Bella's costume has yellow, and there's no yellow in this paper either. There's a, well, I take that back. There's a little bit of yellow in this paper because the candy corns have yellow. So I think it could still work. I think it blends in, the pictures blend in well enough. Sometimes you just have to kind of, you know, accept the fact that your photos are not always going to completely match the papers and embellishments that you have to create your layout. And I recently did a layout where I had a Thanksgiving picture, and in the picture people were wearing pink and blue. And it did kind of give me a little bit of a challenge with thinking about, well, I really want to use not Halloween, I really want to use fall and kind of Thanksgiving papers because it was Thanksgiving Day. But the picture, the people in the picture were not really wearing those types of colors, but I still thought the layout came out really nice, and I was okay with that. So sometimes it's nice to be able to match your picture to your papers, but it doesn't always work out. And I think sometimes it's more about kind of telling the story. And in this case, it's a story of Halloween. So even though the costumes that they're wearing do not match the papers that I'm using, my memory is of Halloween and of them being dressed in these costumes for Halloween. So I think it's going to be okay that it doesn't completely match. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do that. Now let's get back and look at the stripe paper. And I hope y'all enjoy this part of the video. I really do find it useful, and it really helps me to talk through my choices. And I think it also helps other people to try to kind of think about when they're scrapbooking how to use their papers and you know, how to pick papers out for a layout. Okay, so look at that. That's a gorgeous stripe, and we could use that for our diagonal element. I'll cut a strip of this and use that. Okay, so I think I want to pull one more paper, and I'm going to tell y'all why. Because on here they have this spider webs that are going across. So we have this one strong pattern paper, and then we have this stripe, and then you have this pattern here. I guess I could do stamping, but I'd rather just do a border strip and use a paper there. And so I'm going to look through here and just see if I can find one more paper that has a kind of a strong pattern, like, or no, not a strong pattern, that has a very tone-on-tone pattern like this purple paper. That would be really pretty. So maybe we can see if we can find something that would make a good border. And I don't think that this would work just because I'm going to bring in gold possibly. So I don't think I want to bring in that holographic. Okay, what I'm going to do, I don't think I would need to have two of these papers here to use as a background. So I'm going to use one of these to cut out some strips that I can use to create a border. I think that's going to be very pretty. You can see it'll just be this stripe paper and then this purple. I think that's going to be super pretty. Okay, so we're going to use those 4 pieces of paper. And I think that's going to get me started. Okay, so y'all know I can't scrap and talk at the same time, so I'm going to speed this up and do a voiceover later to talk you through my process. So let's go ahead and get started. So I really loved using the papers from this paper pad to create this layout. I do love buying paper pads, especially when they have such cute images. And there's a lot of advantages to using these paper pads for scrapbooking, one of which is how inexpensive they can be. I think I picked this one up for around $6 from Joann's.com when they had them on sale for 60% off. And so you can get a lot of scrapbook layouts from one paper pad. I just recently kind of challenged myself to take a paper pad and completely use it up. And I think I ended up with 18 layouts, or I didn't actually create layouts, I created base pages. So I created 18 base pages and about 10 cards, and I still had paper left over, and I kind of got tired of it and I pushed it aside. But I was really surprised at how much I was able to get out of that one paper pad. The other thing that I love about using paper pads is that you can usually find cut-aparts or papers in there that you can fussy cut out embellishments. And so you have pretty much everything you need to create a layout. And so I think they're really fun. Now, some of the things I don't like about using paper pads is the quality of the paper is sometimes not that great. And I found this paper to be very thick, and it was a little bit difficult to do fuzzy cutting with this paper. And then something else that I find a little bit challenging with using a paper pad is sometimes you don't have a lot of variety in the embellishments that you can use. And so you don't get as much differences in the texture and the dimension in the different embellishments. Unless you can find something in your craft room to go with the paper, it can be a little bit of a challenge. Okay, so I'm starting off here by trying to create these triangles. And because I was going across the paper, I couldn't use my paper trimmer. I had to actually use my pencil and ruler, and I just drew a line and went ahead and cut it apart. And so I thought it was pretty easy to do. Now you'll notice that I changed out my background, and instead of using the orange paper, I decided to use the purple. And the reason why I decided to change my background was because when I laid my pictures on top of the orange and purple paper, I just liked the way the purple paper looked. And it also has less of a pattern, and I just thought it would make a better background. I also knew that I was going to be covering up the bottom right-hand corner anyway, and so I just decided to use that purple paper as my background. I think it's really pretty. Okay, so here I'm trying to figure out which pictures to use for this layout. I knew I wanted to use that larger picture with both of my dogs, but I also wanted to use two smaller pictures. And the pictures that I like the best, the one on the right is of Bella. It's a portrait, and the one on the left was of Lilybell as a landscape. And those were my two favorite pictures, so I went ahead and decided to use those. But it's going to cause me some trouble down the road because I couldn't figure out how to put these pictures onto the layout and make it look right, and I'm going to end up changing the actual design and not quite following the sketch, but in the end I think that turned out really cute. Okay, so now that I figured out the pictures, I'm going to work on the top left corner of my layout. In the sketch they had another triangle there, and I was trying to figure out exactly how big I should make that triangle. I went ahead and cut out a square, and I believe I used a 3 by 3 square. Now after I did this, I probably should have made that bigger, maybe a 4 by 4 or even a 4.5 by 4.5, but I kind of covered up my mistake by using the border piece and then that stripe paper. And I think it's going to work out in the end, but I think it would have been a little bit better if I had made that bigger. So if you're using this sketch and you're participating in the sketch challenge, go ahead and make that about a 4 by 4 or even a 4.5 by 4.5. And that would work out so much better, I think. Okay, so now I'm going to work on my title, and I'm using the thicker alignment guides. This alignment guide set has 5 different templates. There are 2 that are curved like arches, and then there are 2 that are wavy, and I'm using one of the wavy ones here. There's also a straight one, and these are really awesome. I always forget to use them though. I usually put my thickers onto some wax paper, and I really think using these alignment guides is a little bit easier because I think it's more visible and you can kind of see what you're doing a little bit better than using the wax paper. And then you also have so many different ways that you can use these templates to make your titles look different than just putting them on your layout just in a straight line. There's also another set of alignment guides from Thicker that are the geometric shapes. They have hexagons and circles. I have both sets, and I picked them up at Tuesday mornings, and I think I picked them up last year. I haven't seen them there recently, but I have seen them on Amazon, and I'll go ahead and put links to the ones that I found on Amazon in the description box below. I think they cost about $9.99 for each set of templates. Okay, so here's where you can see the mistake I made by cutting my triangle too small, and it would have been so much better if that would have been a little bit bigger, but it's going to work out in the end because I'm going to use that striped piece of paper and also my border strip to kind of cover that up. Okay, so I have 3 different border punches here. I'm trying to figure out which one of these to use because I didn't really have anything that was Halloween, and so I'm going to try out these different border punches. I have one from Creative Memories, which is a Starburst border punch. I also have a puppy paw punch that's from EK Tools, And then this one is also from EK Tools. I'm not exactly sure what the name of that punch is, and I was having a lot of trouble just even trying to get that one punched out. It is a pretty punch, and I did like it, but in the end, I'm going to end up using the puppy paw punch because it was just easier to use, and I did like the way that one looked. Now, what's really funny about this is I spent a long time looking at these 3 different border punches, trying them out, and trying to figure out which one to use. And in the end, you can't even really see much of that border strip on the layout. So I think it's funny sometimes how we spend a lot of time doing something and then cover it up. Sometimes it just works out that way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this puppy paw punch from EK Tools. And I think I saw that available on Amazon. If I find it there, I will put a link to that one as well. So I do try to put links to all of the different tools and supplies that I'm using in my videos in the description of each video. But if there's anything that I missed, or you're having problems with the link being broken, or you have a question, just leave a comment and I will try to respond back to you, usually within a day. So I wanted to add more gold to this layout because the only thing that I had here that was gold was my title. And so I got out some washi tape in gold, and I'm just going to add a strip of washi tape on top of that striped paper, just to kind of add a little bit more pizzazz to the border strip there, give it a little bit more sparkle. I love using washi tape, especially one that has gold or silver or some kind of a metallic. And I think that looks really pretty. Okay, so now that I have all that figured out, I'm going to look for something to use for embellishments on this layout. And I'm just flipping through the paper pad again to see what I can fussy cut out. So there were a lot of cute images in this paper pad, but a lot of them were very small. But I did like this one here with all of the dogs in the different costumes. So I'm going to cut some of these out and do some fussy cutting. Now, unfortunately, I was off screen for most of that, so I'm just going to kind of skip ahead. I cut out a whole bunch of these little dogs, and I'm going to cut out even more. I like sometimes to cut out more than I need, and that way I just have a lot to choose from. Okay, so here I'm going to cut this cut apart. And I wanted to use that trick for treats. I thought that was a really cool little card there. And I thought it would be super perfect for this layout because my dogs are always doing tricks for treats, because I want them to do something to earn their treats, and so they have to do a sit or a down or a speak, or what few tricks that they actually do know how to do. I'd like to teach them some more tricks, but they are kind of older. They just turned 10 on October the 19th, and so they are getting on the older side. And I have tried to teach them some new things, but they don't pick them up as quick as they used to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and map my pictures. I'm using the We Are Memory Keepers layering guides, and I'm using the 1/8 inch guide and some white cardstock, and I'm just going to create a mat for each one of my pictures. Now, I do have a video for how to use these guides, and I gave some tips on using them. If you'd like to see that video, I will put a link in the description below to that video so you can check that out. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm going to skip ahead some more so we don't have to watch all of this. Okay, so I did struggle quite a bit with my picture placement, and part of that was because I did not follow the sketch. And so I find that whenever I try to use pictures that are not the right size for the sketch, that's when I tend to run into trouble. And you're going to see me here playing musical pictures, because I move these pictures around and around and around. I really wanted to use that picture of Bella on the left, but it just looked really strange to have her picture on top of the part of the picture with her in it. And so I ended up just going with having Lily Bell's picture on the left and Bella's picture on the right. And I'm just going to make it work. So I did cut out some more of my video because I spent a long time trying to figure out the picture placement. And now I'm just going to move ahead and do some more fussy cutting. I did cut out some more dogs. I think I ended up cutting out maybe 10 dogs. I didn't use them all, but it was fun just to have a mix of them. So I decided to add another cut apart to my layout. I like this saying. It says, "Did somebody say treat?" Because I think that's really funny. My dogs love treats, and so yeah, they're there. If you say the word treat, they come running. And I think it adds some purple down there to that section of the layout. Gives a little bit more balance, and I just liked how that looked, and I thought the saying was really cute. I'm going to cut down these cut aparts a little bit more, make them smaller, because I wanted to give myself more room for my pictures. I was still really struggling with the pictures, and then I had this idea that I would kind of mat the pictures and make a grouping of pictures, and maybe that would make my pictures more cohesive and make them look like they belonged on this layout. So I moved the Tricks for Treats up there at the top of the layout, and I'm going to create a mat to go behind my pictures. Here I'm just trying to figure out the size for that mat. Wanted to make sure I had plenty of room there. And so I'm going to make this I think I made it a 9 by 9 or an 8 by 8. Can't remember, but it's about that size. Okay, so now here's where I deviated from the sketch, and it's going to make my layout look quite different from the sketch just because I added that square. But I really do like this much better than what I had before, and so I'm just going to go with it. Sometimes I think you can use a sketch for inspiration, but if the sketch is not working out and your layout is not coming out, it's okay to make some changes, and that's where I decided to go ahead and do this because I just wanted something that was going to pull this layout together and kind of make the pictures look like they belong together. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and make this card a little bit smaller. I'm using my Creative Memories personal paper trimmer. I like to use that if I'm trying to cut down something very small. I also love using it for my pictures. Okay, so I also added some flare buttons to this layout. I have two flare buttons, one there at the top, and I apologize for the glare there, but it says Trick or Treat, and it's a black background with orange words. And then there's also the one there at the bottom that had the ghost that says boo. So I'm going to go ahead and just start sticking everything down. I did still struggle a little bit with my pictures. I had this really strange gap between the pictures and the title, and I'm going to solve that a little bit later. But for now, I'm just trying to get these pictures on here so that at least it looks like they're lined up. And I used that purple card there at the bottom to kind of balance out the fact that the picture at the bottom was smaller than the two pictures at the top of the layout. Okay, so once I got that on there, I'm going to start putting on all of these little dogs. I did pop those up onto some foam tape. And that was quite a challenge too, because some of the dogs were facing in the right direction, some of them were facing towards the left, and some of the dogs were white, and that was kind of a challenge because I couldn't really put it on top of that paper with the words because it blended right into the background. Some of the dogs were brown, which blended into the orange paper, and it was quite a puzzle getting these dogs onto the layout and trying to figure out how to put them into my clusters. But I eventually did figure it out. And I'm going to add three dogs down here at the bottom, and I moved them around quite a bit, but it wasn't until I moved the little white dog with the pineapple outfit behind the dog with the candy corn hat that I finally got that cluster kind of situated. But aren't these costumes too funny? I just love them. And my favorite dog is the little dog on top of the purple card that has the ghost outfit. I just think that that is super adorable. Okay, so these alignment guides from Thickers are super cool because if you put the Thickers kind of on the edge of the guide, you can stick them down and then you hold on to those Thickers and you pull the guide out from underneath. It is a little tricky, but if you're lucky, your Thickers will stay down there in exactly the same position that you had them on the alignment guide. So it does take some practice to do that, and sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. I did have a little bit of a hard time with the green Thickers because they're foam and the letters kind of move around a lot more, but I just manually shifted those until I got them the way I wanted them to look. Okay, so I have this 12 by 12 cardstock sticker sheet from Simple Stories. It's from the Say Cheese Halloween collection. And I was looking at that, trying to find some additional embellishments to add to this layout. I'm also going to be looking for something to kind of fill in that strange gap that I have there between the picture and the word spooky. So I just kind of was not really sure what to do with that. It just seemed like there was this weird space there, and nothing that I did seemed to help. So I tried a couple of dogs there, and that wasn't working out. And I'm going to try a whole bunch of different stickers from this sticker sheet. I tried a little girl that was dressed as a witch, and then a little boy with a balloon. And then I'm also going to try the word boo. That didn't work out. But I found this green sticker, and it was really cute, and I'm going to stick that down there in that cluster. And then I found a word bubble, speech bubble, that says trick or treat. And even though I'm repeating trick or treat several times on this layout, it just was the best sticker, the best shape and color for that particular spot. And so I'm just going to go with it. Now I wanted to add a little bit more green to that cluster down there at the bottom left corner, and so I cut out Happy Halloween from that word paper, and I'm just going to put that right there underneath that little ghost. I'm just adding some foam tape to that trick or treat and adding that there at the top of the layout, and I just love how that turned out. It really made the title look like it belonged, and it filled in that gap. Okay, so now I got out some enamel dots, and I'm just going to get out enamel dots in 3 different colors: orange, purple, and green. Now those purple dots are really dark, and at first I did put those on my layout, but I'm going to go back later and change that out. And I also had a kind of a limey green enamel dot, but it was shaped kind of funny because it was almost like a ball and it was sticking up a lot. Now I know you can't see that in the video, but it was kind of bugging me. And so when I went back and changed out the purple enamel dots, I thought, what the heck? I'll just change out the green ones too. And so I am going to spend quite a bit of time getting all of these enamel dots situated on my layout. Okay, so I also wanted to mention that if you're looking for more inspiration for this month's sketch challenge, be sure to go out to the scraparts-blogspot.com website, and I'll put a link in the description below. There's 10 people on the design team, so there's a lot of different layouts from all the different design team members that you can see. And that's just a lot of fun to see what other people do with this sketch. I also wanted to mention that I created the 2 flare buttons, and I have a button maker, and I decided to actually make the buttons and sell them. I've created a button shop that I have out on my website. Now I will put a link in the description below to my new button shop, and also a coupon code for you guys to use. So the coupon code is for free shipping. And the way that I set up the button shop, the more you purchase, the lower the price is per button. And so you can get anywhere from 10 to 20% off if you buy more buttons. So 6 or more buttons is 10%, 12 or more is 12%, I think 18 or more is 15%, 24 or more is 17%, and if you buy more than 36 buttons, you get 20% off. And I thought that was a really good way to do it. So you get to pick out every single button that you purchase. So no packs of buttons where you end up with ones you don't want. Now I currently have over 500 different designs in the button shop, and that's quite a large selection. So you can use the search feature at the top of the shop and also the categories on the right hand side to help you find the different button designs. So if you do decide to place an order at the button shop and you run into any problems, be sure to send me an email, and I'll put my email here on the screen. Now, I did set this shop up on my own, and it's been open for a few months now, and I've just been kind of telling a few people here and there and working out all of the problems, because you know, with any new venture and creating a new website, there's always going to be things that can go wrong. And I didn't want to announce it to a lot of people and then have to struggle with having a lot of issues. Okay, so here are close-ups of my layout. I really love how this turned out. I just think it's super cute. I love my dogs dressed up in their Halloween costumes. And they have several different costumes. I'm going to be trying those out. and I did try them on my girls just to make sure they still fit. I'm thinking about having them wear these costumes again for this Halloween. Bella wasn't too excited about trying hers on. I do have a short video clip of Bella and Lilybell at the end of this video if you want to stick around for that. Super funny. Miss Bella does not like to get dressed up, but I went ahead and did it anyway. She didn't wear the costume but for a couple of minutes, and I did give her a treat, so I think she was okay with it in the end. Okay, so that's all I have. Y'all take care. Hope y'all have an awesome week, and we'll see you next time. Bye now. Hi, girls. Do y'all want to be spooky bugs? You don't? You don't want to be a bug? No? Well, I want you to dress. I want to see if you... Are you going to let me talk? Are y'all going to be spooky? Are y'all going to be spooky bugs? Are you going to be a spooky bug? You are? Yeah? Okay, because I want to try your costumes on to see it. I want to see if they fit. Can we try them? I don't think Bella's too happy. Well, we're just going to try them on and we'll take them right off, okay? I just want to see if they still fit because you hadn't worn them in a couple of years. Shh. Okay, let me talk. You might have put on some weight. You didn't? Well, I'm going to try them on anyway, okay? Because I did the scrapbook layout, and they have pictures of you and Lilybell with your bug costumes. And I want to see if your bug costumes fit. Can we try them on? If we can try them on, and I will give you a treat, okay? Would that be okay? No. Okay, we're going to try the costumes on, and then I'm going to give you a treat. I'll give you a really good treat, okay? No! She's not having none of it. Okay, well, we're just going to do it, okay? You're just going to have to suck it up. Buttercup. Okay. All right, let's get going. I'm going to put you in your outfit. All right, are y'all ready for you? Okay, y'all ready for your treat? Are you ready? Where are you, Miss B? Bella, are you ready? Your costume still fits. It still fits. You didn't gain too much weight. Are you a bee? Where's she going? Hi, Ladybell. Are you a ladybug? Are y'all bugs? Here goes the headpiece. That's about how long that stays in. Well, at least we got one picture with one end. There goes the other one. Y'all don't like those headpieces, huh? No. Okay, do you want your treat now? You were nice enough to put the costume on for Mama. Yeah. Y'all are so excited. Okay, can you sit? Bella, Lilybell, sit. Good job. Good job. Okay, Mama's gonna give you a treat, okay? Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Nope. She's like panting. Okay, let me get you a treat, okay? Okay, y'all excited? I'm gonna give you one of your favorite treats. So they're going to be getting this True Hemp supplement stick. They love this one. I think it smells really stinky. But they love it and they're super excited. So let me go ahead and get one of these. I'm gonna pause the video. Okay. Okay, so I promised you a treat and here it comes. Lilybell, can you down? Good girl. Bella, sit. She's like exhausted. Okay, so y'all ready for your treat? You look so pretty. My spooky bugs. Y'all look so pretty. Can you sit? Sit. Lily Bella, sit. Bella, sit. Good job. Down. Good job. Lily Bella, down. Lily Bella, down. Good job. Okay, leave it. Leave it.